Hello, we're going to be looking at glyphs tonight, glyphs and symbols for the signs, the planets, and so on. Let's start right away with the symbol for the sun, which is basically a circle with a dot in the very center. Wow, I used to be able to make a circle a little better than that. Next is the moon, and we have several variations of the moon. There's the crescent moon. That is a waxing crescent moon, and here we also have a waning crescent moon. Sometimes in charts you'll see that the astrologer or that the program showed us exactly whether it was a waxing or a waning moon. And in the ancient Celtic countries, there was a symbol that also included a symbol for the full moon in between, and this was called the triple goddess, because you have the waxing, the full, and the waning moon symbolizing it. And, by the way, the moon, let's start with the sun. The sun rules the sign of Leo. There's Leo right there. And the moon rules the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is also called the moon child. So we can either call it Cancer, or some people who kind of are allergic to that name prefer moon child. Next planet up is Mercury, and Mercury is rules communication and language and travel and sales and all kinds of good stuff. The mind. Mercury. And Mercury rules two signs. It rules Gemini and also rules Virgo. And let's go down next to Venus. Who could forget Venus? That's the female symbol that we know and love. And so that is Venus. And Venus rules two signs. It feels very hospitable if it's found natally in those signs, and those are Taurus and also Libra. Then we go on to Mars, and Mars is the typical masculine sign. There's no surprise there. We got the female sign for Venus and the masculine sign for Mars. And Mars, the red planet, formerly thought to rule Aries. There's a sign for Aries. But also, anciently, they believed it ruled Scorpio. Now, this has been co-ruled, co-opted now by Pluto, which also is said to rule Scorpio. Jupiter and Saturn, the symbols are almost opposites of each other. If you look at them, they're almost like upside-down symbols. Jupiter is the positive influence. Jupiter is the greater benefic, and Venus is the lesser benefic. Benefic meaning that it's good for you. It's a helpful planet. It's very positive. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And I'm just going to put Sag here. You'll know what that means. Saturn is a very interesting planet. We'll have much to say about Saturn as time goes on. And that, of course, rules Capricorn. It's one of my favorite symbols. This is supposed to be a goat, and this is supposed to be the tail on the end of the goat, which is like that of a fish. I didn't quite nail it, but maybe you get the idea. I'm running out of space here, which is too bad, because here comes planet Uranus. Let me do that again. It looks like a gallows to me. It's a strange planet. What this may be originally could have been a symbol for Herschel, an astronomer by the name of Herschel who discovered planet Uranus back in the 1700s. Uranus. And what does Uranus rule? It rules Aquarius. Aquarius used to be ruled by Saturn, but they shifted around a little bit. Then Neptune, of course. Neptune is the next planet out. All these planets are farther and farther away from the sun. And it's a trident, the trident that the planetary god Neptune, the ancient god Neptune, wields. And Neptune rules, let me put Neptune down here. And Neptune rules Pisces. Can I remember what Pisces looks like? It's the fish. That's right. There we are. This was originally used by the Christians to denote Jesus, because he was born a Pisces. That's what it seems to mean, and it certainly fits with his chart. We'll talk more about that in my book, Christian Astrology, where I go through the actual horoscope of Jesus Christ. Finally, Pluto, and there's two symbols for Pluto. It drives me crazy because This is the simple one, is the letter P with this little thing on here. You know what that stands for? Percival Lowell, who was the discoverer of Pluto. But the fancy schmancy astrologers have come up with this symbol for it, which looks to me like a fishbone or something. You know, it's the circle of a matter above the semicircle of so-and-so, and then the cross of whatever. No, I don't believe any of that. I think that the symbol is better here, and Pluto beats out this symbol hands down. And we'll put Pluto here, and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, displacing Mars, which was thought to rule it for about 2,000 years, until they discovered these. These are the outer planets that were discovered in the last 300 years or so: Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Now, of course, we've also got some other dwarf planets out there. My favorite is probably Ceres. Ceres looks almost like a question mark, almost maybe like an Ankh, the Egyptian symbol. And I love Ceres because it's the planet of cereal, it's the planet of goodies, it's the planet of the Horn of Plenty. Well, I say planet, I mean planetoid or dwarf planet. There's some other beauties out there. One of them is Juno. And Juno, I love Juno. Well, this is about all the time I've got in this video. And wow, this looks like a buffet here. There's so much on here in the Glyphs of Astrology. And we'll come back to this very soon, and I'll try to write more clearly. Thank you.